Today I'm excited because I have Rick Perot from Unbounce.com to come on the show. Every now and then I come across a tool that I think, especially if it's a cloud-based online tool that I think startup entrepreneurs need to be using in their business. And why I got Rick on the show today is because, have you ever come across a point where you feel like you want to build like a landing page for your website, but you don't have all that technical skills, or you don't even want to, get a web developer involved. You just want to build, have an editor build it for you and get it done for you. Well, that's what Unbounce does, and I said, let me get Rick on the show to talk more about Unbounce. So, Rick, go ahead, introduce yourself to my audience.
Thanks, Owen. Thanks for having me. I know we've been trying to do this now for a while, but between both of us getting married, we've had to put this off for a bit. But I think your audience will want to know that you're newlywed, and so am I. So.
Funny enough, I don't have my ring on. Okay, I should have. If I knew you were going to show the rings, I would have had my ring on. But I'm married. Okay, let's go on.
So, well, Unbounce, well, first of all, thanks for checking it out. It's, I think you described it really well. Unbounce is really a tool for marketers to be able to create and test and publish their landing pages without having to deal with IT or web developers. The idea of the tool really came out of our own experience. My background's in marketing, and, throughout my career, I've always seen how new solutions, new, technology has come up with, great new tools that empowered marketing to do something. So I remember when I started my career, I remember if we wanted to do an email campaign, we'd prepare everything. It would go to IT, and they would send it. They'd manage it. Well, now there's hosted solutions that allow the marketers to do that. Advertising. I mean, IT departments used to manage, banner ad serving systems. Now marketers have tools out there that they control it. Well, landing pages. I always had, I could never get landing pages done when we needed them done, based on our campaign deadlines. So, and that's really where the idea came out of. But switching back to founders and entrepreneurs, especially when this is what you're focused on, what's been really great actually is that since we launched, and actually before we launched, during our beta even, we had a lot of entrepreneurs, bootstrapping startups who don't have marketing budgets, who weren't necessarily doing pay-per-click or social media marketing, but had ideas that they wanted to test out. And they found Unbounce to be a simple tool to do that, rather than going to, using WordPress, a WordPress blog, which is really, great tool. And WordPress is great. We use it for our blog. But if you're going to build one page and just test one idea while you're a very early stage company, that's a bit of overkill. Then and then taking tools like, Google Website Optimizer, great tool, but you need to have some technical knowledge. So what we've been finding is actually a lot of entrepreneurs have been using Unbounce to, create their idea, put it up there, test different ideas using our built-in A/B testing, and that allows them to make business decisions about going forward. In fact, we've had, some of the more very ambitious ones have actually built their whole website using Unbounce. Now, we haven't designed the tool for that. It's really, Unbounce is really focused on the landing page. But yeah, we've seen some really great websites come out of people who built their whole site using Unbounce. They build, I think we've got one guy, about 100 pages? Wow. 100-page website. They're all Unbounce pages, and they're all linked together, and he's a startup. And the reason he's using Unbounce this way is because, well, he doesn't have the technical knowledge to go out and, use WordPress or, code something up himself. And he's a bootstrapping startup, so he doesn't have the budget to go and hire a web team.
Okay.
So it's
let's do this too, because I know me and you understand what landing pages are, and some of members of the audience will know what they need, but they don't even know it's called a landing page. So let's give them a quick primer as to what a landing page is and what it does for them.
Well, if you're spending money on advertising, whether it's pay-per-click, banner ads, even some sort of social media, you got a message out there, and you're paying to have that traffic to, generate traffic. Most marketers, unfortunately, send that traffic to a website, to their company homepage. The smart marketers are actually saying, wait a minute, what I want to do is I need to match my message of my ad with the landing experience. However, you can't, it's hard to do that on a website. You're trying to manage a website and you might have 3 different ideas for ads that you want to do, and you can't have 3 different ideas on your website. Furthermore, there's piles of things, click here, click there, piles of links on your website. So the more links you have on your homepage, the less chance you're going to have that the visitor who you just paid to come to your website is going to click on the thing that you want them to click on. So the concept of a landing page is that I build a page unique just for that ad. It might be a product I'm selling, it might be a special promotion, it might be anything, whatever is related to that ad. So I build this one page. The headline is very clear, a few key points about the product or service that I'm selling, and one call to action. So that's really at a really simple level. And what marketers have found over time is by doing that, they increase the conversion rates. So more people who will click through, they'll click my ad, they'll land on my landing page, they get a clear message. They click that call to action because I want them to either fill out a form or click a button. Then they go in and buy my product. So
based on what you just told me now, a landing page really is. People have this whole idea of creating a website with all their links into it, but a landing page is really they come there. It's one specific message, one specific thing that is expected of the user to do, and the landing page should be void of any kind of distraction other than that one thing you want them to do.
Absolutely. That's really the philosophy around building landing pages for ad campaigns. Now, I've seen microsites have links. I've seen landing pages for SEO purposes, and they have lots of contents and lots of links. Well, that's it's serving a different purpose. But if you're gonna spend money, which say for Google AdWords, which is very popular right now, if you're gonna spend money, you want to make sure that you're optimizing that post-click experience. So someone clicks on my ad, counting all the clicks you have doesn't mean anything. What you really want to do is you want to be able to optimize them, how many sales you're getting or how many new leads you're getting. And the landing page is the best way to manage that. Not just because it's actually simpler, but it's actually just itself easier to manage. You spend all this money to get your corporate website done. You don't want to change it every time you run an ad campaign. So the landing page, you have to go one page. It's easy to change, and then it's easy to test. Your headline might.
What were you saying before we got disconnected? Sometimes it happened with Skype.
Sure. Where was I? The landing experience. So anyway, I guess I'll just go back to the landing page.
Oh yeah. Okay.
By using a simple landing page, it allows you to, match your ad. It's simpler. It'll convert better. It's easier to maintain, but more importantly, it's easy to test. If I've got one headline, so my ad says I'm selling blue apples, and I click onto a landing page, and it's like, buy blue apples from us. But, it's a simple message, but now I might want to test that. I might say, maybe it's blue apples are here, or interested, whatever it happens to be. With a landing page, it's much easier to test a landing page than it is to, start testing your website.
Definitely.
So that's certainly the advantages of using a landing page.
And the thing too is, you're spending all that money to do, the AdWords, for instance, or maybe even if it's not even AdWords, maybe it's like putting ads on newspapers or postcards. You want to have them come to a page, definitely not your website homepage, but the landing page, and now being able to test to see how many people come and then take an action, and like you said, be able to test to see what elements of the landing page or maybe the call to action, whatever things you're saying, they can get them to respond better, right?
Yeah.
And so in regards to tests, what are the things that you are seeing from people who are using tools such as yours that really are getting people to get that call, take an action, I guess?
You just got to test it. it's probably not the answer you want to hear, but I'll tell you a little story. I've seen in our situation where we've had one customer who has a landing page based on a template that's pretty standard looking. You know, it's got a headline, an image, 3 bullet points, big call to action button to click here. And we've seen another customer that uses the exact same page, yet their conversion rates are completely different. Wow. So we'll have one with a low conversion rate and one with a high conversion rate. So there's no, you know, there's no easy answer to that. I think in those situations it might have to do with the media. So maybe the ad didn't match what they had on their landing page. But I think in most situations, I've rarely seen a situation where a landing page won't do better. Using a landing page and testing it won't do better than just sending traffic to your website because of its simplicity.
Definitely. And also, I think maybe it might also be the fact that the end user, there are different ways in which you can engage with the end user. The way one company might, for instance, the end user might be a consumer, comparing that to an end user whose clients might be businesses, you can't really apply the same kind of messages to them on the landing page.
Actually, one of the things I just point out, you should check. I don't know if you have, and maybe your audience would be interested. There's a website called whichtest1.com, and every week they post up landing pages. They'll post up a landing page, version A and a version B, and you can go there and vote on which one you think performed better. And what's interesting, I'm usually wrong, but what's interesting is all the commentary afterwards. So it's a great place to go and learn how some subtle changes can make a big difference in the effectiveness of your page.
Definitely. I'm excited. I want to actually get the viewers to see what Unbounce can do. So can we go ahead and show them the demo?
Okay, sure. I'll walk you through real quickly about Unbounce. So, excuse me. So actually, I'll just take you here for a minute. So with Unbounce, you can, if you're looking at getting started right away and you want to try a small campaign, you can pick any one of our packages, which is basically priced on unique traffic volume, and sign up for a free trial. Or if you just like to come in for a while and try the editor out, and not planning necessarily to do a campaign right away, just below that you can sign up for a free account. It gives you the opportunity to kind of kick the tires, as we like to say. So let's assume you've signed up.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So let's assume now you've signed up for an account, you're into Unbounce, you'd be presented with your dashboard, and the first thing you would do, well, let's create a landing page. So click the big green button, and I've got I'll pretend I'm an entrepreneur. I've got a new startup, and I want to collect leads so that I can announce to email people who are interested in my business at a later date when I'm either in beta or when I've launched. So I'm going to, I'll pick one of our templates here. Now all these templates are editable, and in fact, right at the bottom is our blank page, and that's basically if you've got an existing design already and you'd like to build something from scratch, you can just open up the blank page, start importing your graphics, move them around, and I'll show you a little bit of how that works. I'll do something really simple here.
So the user already has like a bunch of different templates that come in different structures, and they just have to put their own wordings into it. Wow.
Yeah. So in this case, we've got lead generation coming soon. That seems to fit my business. I'll take a preview of that. So that's what it kind of looks like. Great. I can put my logo, little text. I can collect some emails. Love it. So I select that one. I'll give it a name. Cool new startup. My new startup. All right, so now the template has been loaded in the editor. This is what we call our WYSIWYG editor, and it allows me to either, as I said, create a page from scratch or edit a template.
Okay.
So with Unbounce, I can, add some images, change my text, collect leads. I can build a form. This template comes with a form. I could choose a different type of template that has a different type of form, but in this case, I'm just interested in getting some email. But I'll just quickly show you how it works. page section built, or you know, this template set up in page sections. I can move, expand sections here.
Wow.
In this case, I got 3 sections. I can, you know, make them bigger or smaller. I can delete them. But let's just start right away. I'm going to add an image. So before I got on here, I uploaded I went and made myself a little logo, and I uploaded it. But uploading them, it's just like using any file explorer. So I've got one here already, and I'm going to choose that. So there we go. I'm going to replace the template logo with mine. Just change the page section a bit. There we go. So I got my company. And I like that. Stay tuned. We're launching very soon. Great. Well, I'm going to edit some text. So this opens up. I've just double-clicked on this area of text. And I'm going to my new startup. Startup. Okay. Oh, what else do I want to do to that? Here, follow us on Twitter. You know what? I only have my startup has two great benefits, so I'm just going to delete that one. I don't need that one, and I'll move these around a little bit to spread them out. Oh, I guess I could have done that a little differently.
I like as you're moving it, it's showing what's happening. It's really easy to move around. I like that.
Yeah, like I said, we like to say it's as easy as using PowerPoint. There, I just realign those. All right, that's about where I like it. I think that's enough for my landing page. Yeah. So I'm going to save that. And go back to my dashboard. So now, by default, this would be at, this URL would be at unboundedpages.com, cool new startup. However, you can set it up to make it look like it sits on your own website. So I've got a URL already set up in the system. So that's my personal domain. So I'm going to set that up there. I'm finished. But now I said, you know what? So I got that one page, but I want to test the headline. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to duplicate that variant. So that page we just made. Now I've got a copy of it. And I'm going to go in and edit that copy. So I've got, you know, my company, stay tuned, we're launching soon. I think I want to have a stronger call to action. So I'm going to write, you know, sign up for notification on when we launch. So I'm going to save that, go back to my dashboard. So now I got 2 different headlines. I want to see which one's going to work better. So my first one that says it has one header, and the second one has a different header. So when I publish these live, it's going to have some traffic. So then I said, well, how much traffic do I want to set at 50-50? I think in this case I'll just set it 50-50. So what I'm telling the system is I'm saying all the traffic that comes into cool new startup, 50% of the traffic to go to my A variant and 50% to my B variant, and I want to see which one works better. And once I get some traffic in and I see the results, I'll delete one or I'll promote one of them to champion, and I'll run that one until I'm ready to actually build a different page.
Okay, so both pages are going to be displayed via the same URL. It's just
Correct.
the system tells it which ones to upload based on. You said 50-50. Right?
Yeah, in this case I said 50-50. Let's just say if I wasn't comfortable, you know, I wasn't 100% sure with my second idea. I could set that. I'll set it. Maybe I just want 10% of my traffic to go there because I've got this crazy idea, and everybody else is saying it's a bad idea. So everybody else on my team loves the first one. So I'm just going to test this one a little bit. I set it to 10.
Yeah.
So now I've come in. I've added a logo. I've just set up an A/B test. I've changed a little bit of copy, and I'm going to change this. Yeah. There we go. I'm going to publish it. So now, I'll have to put it on unbounce pages because I didn't, I missed a step with my domain. So I'm going to,
so what you're trying to do is basically have it set up so that it shows on a specific domain name. Yeah.
I put it back on mine. I didn't realize I had a problem. So now it's published. These 2 pages are now up, ready to get traffic at the unbouncedpages.com cool new startup. So I can preview these. So I'm going to preview. I want to see what they look like. So here's my first one, and there's my second one. So now I'm going to start driving a little bit of traffic to these and see how they do.
Wow! And you can also see the results on the dashboard as to maybe how much traffic is coming in. And I guess it's also going to tell us how many people click through maybe the sign up button, right? And tells them how many,
Correct. So I can get, I can find out how many people are, well, actually in this case, because my call to action is to sign up for the form, I'll get information on, so how many visitors came to the page and how many actually filled out the form. So in the simplest way, once I see that I have people filling it out, I can view them. I can view my leads. I can download them via CSV. Or maybe I got a MailChimp account. So MailChimp was one of the first integrations that we've done. And I could set up to my MailChimp account. For anybody who doesn't know what MailChimp is, it's a kind of email marketing and email list manager. I could send all my leads automatically to MailChimp, so then I could turn around and use MailChimp to do email marketing to the leads that I've collected. So that's really it. At the simplest form, just a few minutes, I was able to come in, add a logo, add some text, set up an A/B test, and publish these 2 pages live. And that's really what Unbounce is about.
Definitely, and I was trying to make the point to the listeners is that if you were trying to do this yourself, maybe by coding it yourself, this is it might be very confusing or even time consuming for the small business owner that just want to get some results, and hence this kind of a tool can you can see it based off the graphical interface and also the editor, just getting it done right in front of you, and the work is done. You don't have to have all that programming or HTML, whatever kind of experience is done as simple as this for you. So that's one of the reasons why I said let me come and get you on the show to talk about this tool. I like it.
Excellent. Well, while I have the tool open, did you have any other questions specifically about the tool, or should I go back? Do you want to go back to the?
We can go back to the interview. I mean, I just wanted to get people to see the tool, and from now we can go back to the interview. And Rick, I want to find out from you. I always want to get when I'm reviewing a tool, I want to learn more about the entrepreneurial journey of the person responsible for the tool, so our audience can learn from you and see how they can apply some of your lessons learned in their businesses. So first of all, how did you determine that there was a need for a tool like Unbounce, and how did you confirm that need?
I guess through my own experience, seeing that landing pages were always a challenge to get done. A challenge to the point where even we knew they worked, but we wouldn't use them all the time. They were just, wow, we want to launch a campaign tomorrow. The page will get done in 2 weeks. Send the traffic to our homepage. We knew that was wrong, but we did it because we didn't have a convenient way. And it really came out when, and I'd seen this time and time again. I started my career in creative, and I was working with marketing departments. And I remember just saying to a friend one day, I said, well, actually not just a friend, he's one of the partners in the company as well today. So I said to him, what I need is this little tool where I could just, drag and drop and do that. And I thought, geez, there must be something out there with all the great technology and all the great tools that are out there that I've seen in the last several years pop up to make our lives easier. Somebody must be doing this. And I looked around, and there wasn't. I mean, there was a little bit of that in the enterprise space. Some people claiming it has editors and landing, CMS, content management, like large enterprise content management solutions had some components of that. But there was really nothing geared towards small and mid-sized businesses where I could go in, create a page as the marketer, create a page that looked like my brand, or had some templates that were kind of best practice, publish them live, and run my campaign. So I went out early on and started talking to other marketers to make sure that, well, it wasn't just the pain I'd experienced, but that was, and it all came back with the same. Everyone said the same thing. So, yeah, that's really where the idea came from. I guess.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to stop you. Go ahead.
Oh, I guess, you know, it took a long time before, you know, realizing that idea and actually deciding to do something about it. So, I'm glad we did, though.
So were you coming to the, you know, actually implementing this idea from the standpoint of you being a developer yourself, or you had someone else who had that experience as a developer and you brought your idea together and made it work?
Yeah, no, I'm not a developer by trade. I'm more on the marketing, business, and creative side. And early on, when we started sketching out what this thing might need to do, after talking to marketers that I've known in our network locally here, and you know, we kind of sketched out what this thing needed to do. From that, we knew what the team needed to look like. And, you know, had a network of developers and other professionals that we kind of brought in based, you know, we've all, actually everybody on the team here worked together before in the past. So we've all known each other. And, yeah, so from, you know, early 2009 is when the idea really started kind of coming together. By August of 2009, 6 of us were working full-time on this.
Oh, definitely. And from your experience of, you know, being maybe not so on the developer side and trying to, you know, convey your idea to, you know, your friend who is the developer and trying to get him to turn your idea into something that is actually actionable, what kind of challenges did you go through that experience? Because I'm sure there are people in my audience who have that brilliant idea, but, you know, just trying to put it together is probably out of their reach. So maybe there might be something we can learn from how you face that challenge.
I think I've been lucky where my career, I've spent much of my career working with developers and learning how to, you know, being on the creative side and working with developers to get stuff done. And I think as an entrepreneur, you really have to focus on, this is what we're trying to achieve, and let the developer come up with a solution. Here's what I'm thinking. This is how it's going to work. Because when I go out and talk to a marketer, and they say, you know what, I need a tool that's going to work. You got to work like this, like this, like this. You know, really what they're saying is like, I need to achieve this. So it's not really my idea specifically how it's going to work. What I bring back to the team is this is what we need to achieve to actually get customers for the tool. And then the development team takes objectives, thinks about it, brainstorms, and they come up with ways on which those goals could be achieved. So it's really it's team effort. I know, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs, even some managers that I've worked with, we sometimes think we know exactly how it should work, and we don't. I mean, the best ideas come out of smart people who solve those problems every day. So I think my role is really to, you know, bring the objectives back to the team based on what I've learned talking to prospects and current customers, and allowing the team to come up with the best way of doing that, because that's what they do every day.
Yeah, so basically you're just keeping this strategy and the objective of what you guys are trying to achieve on the table, and just bringing the right people to help you put the pieces together and drive that engine towards that goal.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think in our situation, I think that's worked really, really well. And not only that, we've also had the advantage, like I said before, we've all every one of us have worked with somebody else on the team at one point. So we know each other. There's no one on the team no one knew before. So we've done this process before we started this business. This is kind of the way we worked.
Definitely.
So yeah, that helped us.
Oh, definitely, and that's good. And just so you had that team of people you've worked before with, and do you think there's anything that if someone has not worked with a team yet and they've not built that team for that idea that they had, do you think there's anything that they have to watch out for that will help them in creating that team from the start?
Wow. Just going back to what I was saying about, working with the team to set objectives and allowing the team to reach those objectives. I guess like hiring anybody, whether you're hiring somebody who's going to be on your team or you're hiring somebody to do some work around your house. I mean, there's always risk involved, but, just having clear communication, get to spend some time with those potential team members. You're going to spend a lot of time together when you're a startup, so you can make sure you like each other.
Yeah, definitely. It's the whole thing of, I don't know if you know of this guy, Tony Shea from Zappos, and how he says, yes, you have people that you can hire based on skills, but you have to also hire based on cultural fit. They have to meet the overall objectives of what you're trying to achieve with your company.
Actually, that's a very said. I mean, that's probably more important than skill. There's lots of people out there with the skill sets to execute on things. But, we spend more time at work than we do with our wives with this group. So it's important that we all like each other, that we gel, and that we,
There's that synergy that's working at, definitely. And before I even let you go, I want to ask you one question that I think applies to a majority of our listeners, which is marketing. Now you come to the market with a product where you said there were not that many products like you guys on the market when you came to the market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how exactly did you get your product and services out there to the masses? What kind of marketing steps did you use?
We started marketing the day we started developing.
Wow.
And that's kind of a new idea I see that a lot now, and what I mean by that is the day we started, the first line of code was written, we started our blog.
Wow.
Started writing about, we all had experience in landing pages and optimization and marketing, internet marketing in general. So we started writing about that and what that did. So that attracts an audience. And we started collecting leads. And what that allowed us to do is when we were ready to go into beta, now we had a whole list of people that were interested in a product like Unbounce, so we could bring them in and they could work with us during the beta phase, and even before that. So very early on, we're writing online using social media to build up some lists, collect a group of like-minded people who potentially would use a tool like Unbounce, getting them into our beta, getting their feedback. It's actually great for many reasons, but primarily because we had a group of people we could go to, to talk to and to get them to look at the product before we actually opened it up to the world.
Wow. I have two questions with that, though, because that's, most people might think, okay, let's get everything working together and just put it out there as a complete product. Mm-hmm. And the first thing is, didn't you feel like, if you have an idea that is something that is not out there in the market and you're sharing it freely in terms of trying to build that list of interest and sharing your idea with people, didn't you feel like someone else could just go ahead and copy your idea? And then not only that, I guess the second question also is, you start out with the mindset that you have these goals you're going to meet. The product is going to be doing these certain things. If you're also getting these interested users to put their feedback into your system, is there not the worry of the fact that maybe that might divert you away from what you're trying to set out to build in the first place?
Both. Yeah, both very good questions. Stealing the idea. We've talked about that, and like I said, look how much time it took us to get to where we were before we started developing. A lot of thought and research went into that. And very early on, there were other companies that popped up soon after we launched, and that's going to happen. We just have to do it better and build a better product, build a better service. There will always be competitors. There's competitors now, and there's going to be more competitors in the future. That's okay. It's we get compared a lot now to another company, and I think that's actually good for both companies because there's a lot of conversation around landing pages and optimization and testing, a conversation that wouldn't happen necessarily if we didn't have that competitor. So yeah, I think that's healthy. It keeps us motivated, that's for sure.
Definitely. I guess also gives you a chance to keep improving the whole entire industry of what you guys are doing.
So, and your second question was?
Oh, the second question was also the fact that you have, you started out the product with this idea that
getting off track.
Yeah.
We'll get feedback. Feedback's really important, but we're not asking customers, what color you want the buttons or where you want the menu items. What we're trying to do is understand how they would use a product like that.
Oh.
So how would they use this feature? Build up use cases, and then we go and come up with a solution that meets those objectives. Again, being very objective based. Understand what the customer is trying to do, what they're trying to achieve. Learn about not just the tool itself, how they're using the tool, but how it fits into their whole process. So it's really about learning. The more we can get customers giving us that kind of feedback, the more we learn, and that influences the way we build the product.
I guess also maybe that probably might mean reading between the lines of what they tell you, because for my business, sometimes they tell you what they want, but that's not really what they need.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. So you guys moved from the point where you have this idea, you put the idea out by trying to get people who are interested in the idea to get the feedback from them so that you can put them into the beta system, right, to put them to test the product. What was next in the marketing process?
Oh, well, next in the marketing process was, next was launch. From a marketing point of view, we really focused, as a very, I guess, a bootstrapping startup. We really looked at things that would have multiple benefits. We weren't out there spending a lot of money early on, and we're still not spending a lot of money now on marketing. Our focus has really been on using social media. Kind of an inbound marketing approach is what we've taken. So talk about everything that we've learned throughout our careers around testing, around best practices for landing pages, and just share that information and distribute that through social media networks. That content also has a huge SEO benefit. Yeah, so over time now, when we first started, we weren't getting much benefit, but now we're seeing a lot of SEO benefit. We get a lot of customers who find us through organic search.
Wow.
So and then doing stuff like this, so once we launch and people are using the product, we're looking for, we're out there talking about the product, and so doing interviews like this, doing guest posts. Ollie, as you know, I'm sure yeah. So he's asked all the time to, hey, can you write up something for my blog? And so that's working really well, and that's really how we're focused on getting our customers right now. And our focus, our philosophy is really, provide the best product experience that we can, solve our customer needs, solve their pain points, and provide them with a great service. So we're really kind of focused on those things internally, and that's generating happy customers who then turn around and talk about us, who write blog posts, and every week we're finding somebody that's wrote a tutorial on how to do something in Unbounce, or have done a review of the product without actually talking to us, or any encouragement from us. So that's really exciting.
That's very good. That's very good. Rick, I really enjoyed you coming on the show to actually give me a demo of of Unbounce, and also take the time to talk to us about how you've been running the business so far and gotten to this point. I really appreciate it. So how can any of my viewers get a hold of you?
Get a hold of me? Oh, they can send me an email at rick@unbounce.com. In fact, I love talking to people, and that's what I do most of the day. So rick@unbounce.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions any of your viewers happen to have.
And definitely, and if any of you want to make use of Unbounce, go out, check out the service. There's actually a free, explain that better for me, because I might not explain it as well as you might. Yeah,
you can sign up for a free trial, which you'll be charged after 30 days. Or you can sign up for free and, just try out the editor, try what I showed you here tonight. And at some point, at any point where you feel like you want to start driving a campaign, you can upgrade to a paid account.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Owen. We'll talk again soon.
Okay, we're done.
Okay.
So what do you think?
So welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I really want to know what exactly you think. I mean, if I suck and if I'm not doing a good job, I want to know, because by your input and your comments, your suggestions, your feedback, that's how I'm going to improve on the entire package of what I'm sharing with you. I really want to improve so that you know that your time is well spent when you watch my videos. And if I do good on interviews, and if you like certain things I do, please let me know so I can even improve upon that as well. And I want to thank you really, because your time is well spent, and I mean, your time is important to me, and I want to make sure that I continuously put this information in front of you. So I want you to join my community. And in order to do that, you need to click on the link that says get the free ebook, enter in your name and email, and you will receive as a gift from me my free ebook titled The Entrepreneur's Guide to Running a Business in the Cloud. The reason I do that is because I want to share with you that information. You can check it out and make use of it in your business. In the same vein, I will be sending you email updates every time I have new blog posts, as well as if I have new stuff that is not even on the blog, I want to share with you. That way we can stay in contact. One more thing. Before you go, I want to also let you know that if you are really serious about finding, hiring, training, and even working with virtual assistant, if right now you want to get that started, why don't you sign up for my free webinar where I share everything about the entire process. And you can get to do that by clicking on the link on the very top of my blog where it says sign up for the free webinar. Again, thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you next time.